He's not gonna put his hands on me like that and choke me and slam me on the ground, so you can take him away from my house now. His kids are little brats and they're bad too.
Hey! Just crazy.
He's a liar. God knows, I know, and that's all that matters.
I've never seen the side of it.
Baby Jesus. That's the last they'll his kids will see him, I promise you. Hey, come get me from jail and come get Riker.
On September 1st, 2024, in the state of Georgia, police officers were called to this home after receiving a report of domestic violence. What they were about to witness was not just an argument between two adults, but a tragedy that unfolded right in front of innocent children. As soon as the police arrived at the scene, the woman came out looking angry and panicked.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
He's not gonna put his hands on me like that and choke me and slam me on the ground, so you can take him away from my house now.
Okay, hold on. Let's start from scratch.
I'm sitting on, he wakes up every day and talks about how bad my kid is, and I'm sick of it. His kids are little brats and they're bad too, okay? And I'm tired of it. I held my tongue long enough. So this morning when he started, I said, I'm sick of you waking up every day and talking about how bad my kid is. I said, you can get your shit and leave. So I went inside, I sat on the couch, I called his mom. You can call his mom and verify this. I said, you need to come get your son because I'm tired of him waking up every day and talking about how bad my kid is. He come over there and gets in my face. Your kid's a little fucking punk. All he does is this and that. Proceeds to get on top of me.
Sure.
Chokes me by my throat. Picks me up, slams me to the ground by my throat. I'm kicking him, grabbing him because he's got me by the throat where I can't breathe. Picks up my phone, throws it across the room, okay? His mom's on the phone the whole time, so you can verify. Then he's still yelling and screaming. My kid's outside. His two kids are inside while he's steadily attacking me. My kid's outside in the garage. And I said, you need to leave. He said, the cop's already been here one time because of this. Who do you think is the problem? I said, no, the problem is I stand up to you men that put your hands on me. That's the problem.
Okay, who is he to you?
He's my boyfriend, but not anymore. So he's not on this lease, so you can take him and leave. Or he can get his stuff and leave.
While the woman was still loudly telling her story in front of the police, her boyfriend came out from behind. His appearance immediately changed the atmosphere. When asked, the man gave a completely opposite story.
I think this is the second time y'all been here like
I already know.
We're not going to do that.
Tell him to get
We're not going to do that.
My kids are inside.
Yeah, because
Hey,
Sis, quit.
Stop.
No.
Stop.
Touch her.
Yes,
Look.
you did. You're a goddamn liar. And you're mad because I stand
Stop.
up. You're stupid.
Stop.
See how she is?
Call my dad to come get
This
me.
is the second time y'all been here.
Call
No,
my dad.
So what, I mean,
she's crazy.
what took place today?
Nothing. She's crazy, dude, I'm telling
Well,
you.
something took place today.
She mad about something that got said yesterday. Her kid's bad. He's disrespectful to my kids. I said something to him. She's got mad. She starts hit me, scratching me, hit me with the fucking iPad. It's broken there. She was on the ground. I told her to chill the fuck out, stop. She said, I'm calling the cops. I said, fucking call them. It's the second time in a month y'all been here for the same thing, two different people. Y'all ain't got to worry about nothing. I'm packing my shit. I'll be out of here today. I pay the bills here. She makes $500 a week. She can't afford shit. I pay the shit here. Her name is on the lease because she was on the lease with her ex-boyfriend. Y'all were here maybe a month ago about the same thing. They were fighting, fist fighting, this, that, and other. Everybody told me she was crazy. I said, whatever, she's cool. This thing, same thing y'all were here for. So I moved in. My little girl's birthday party was yesterday.
Hey, buddy, go inside.
Yeah, go inside for a minute. And she comes in there. He's mean and bad, mean to my kids. He's just a little kid to them. Anyway, that's what started it all. So she comes in there. First thing she did, she calls my mom. Don't bring my mom in it. And then she comes in there. I'm getting in the shower. She comes in there antagonizing me. And I tell her, leave me the fuck alone. What's wrong with my kid? What's wrong? I said, he's mean to my kids. Blah, blah, blah. Going back and forth about him. She throws the iPad at me, hits me, starts scratching me. I think there's scratches on my neck somewhere.
Yeah.
She scratches my neck. And I put her on the ground. I said, stop. And leave me the fuck alone. By then, my kids done came in there. So I'm not doing that in front of my kids. That's a no-no. So I had to go, because she's following me through the house. I had to go get my two kids, lock them in her bedroom, so they didn't witness none of this shit. So, I mean, I know y'all can look it up. Y'all were, I don't know if you came. One of y'all came here maybe a month and a half ago, about the same thing, but a different guy.
Grab your license for me.
And choke slammed me. Broke my iPad. Go look in the bedroom. You probably picked it up by now. Took my phone, slammed it across the room. Look at my phone. Now tell me. Call his mom and ask his mom. She was on the phone. She was on the phone when he attacked me, picked up my phone, threw it across the room, broke my son's iPad. It's probably still on the floor. He can play victim all he wants. That's fine. Play victim. Get your shit and get out of my house.
Okay. Where's the marks on you?
He grabbed me right here by my throat and choke slammed me. I defended myself by scratching him because I couldn't breathe. You want to take me? Take me. I don't care, because at the end of the day, he's a liar. God knows, I know, and that's all that matters. Because call his mom and ask his mom. Go ask his kids. Go ask his kids. I was sitting on the couch. He come over there and attacked me. Go ask his 2 kids.
They all saw?
His 2 kids did. My kid was in the garage. Go ask his kids what happened. Call his mom and ask her what happened.
Tell me how to stop telling me how to do my job. Okay? I've dealt with this with you before, and you won't let me talk. When I try to figure the mess out, you want to try to just run everything. It's not going to happen.
Because the point is, when I've had enough, I've had enough.
Yeah, but you got to let me do my job. And like I said, this happened the last time. You kept telling me, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Go back up there, buddy. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. No, that's not how this works.
I didn't say I'm going to do this and do that.
Yes, the last time I was out here, you're telling me how to do my job.
Okay.
All right. Now, with the way you acted right there, you look like the aggressor.
Yeah, because when I've had enough, I've had enough.
But if we're here and I say don't start, and then you go after him, doesn't look good, right?
Nope. But when I've had enough, I've had enough.
How old are your youngins?
Danny Kate just turned 7, Parker's 4.
After hearing both sides, the police began to examine the scene.
Can I talk to your 7-year-old?
Of course.
Can I talk to you, sweetheart?
Come on, baby.
Hey, sweetheart. Did you have a birthday yesterday? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
To clarify the truth, the police decided to interview one of the children. The 7-year-old girl, who had just celebrated her birthday the day before, was invited to talk.
You know when my birthday was? The day before yesterday on the 30th. But I'm a lot older than you. Did you see what happened this morning?
Not really.
Well, what did you see?
All I really saw was them fighting.
What do you mean fighting?
Well, they were just fighting in the living room.
What? Were they yelling, or were who was yelling at who?
Well, they were both yelling at each other.
Okay, where was your daddy at? Was he sitting down or was he standing up?
I would say he's standing up.
And where was she? Where was the other lady?
Sitting down.
Sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did you see anybody put their hands on anybody?
They both put their hands.
Who put their hands on who first?
I don't
You don't know?
know.
How did they put their hands on them?
I don't really
You
know.
don't know? Like, I'm gonna punch you or I'm gonna grab you?
Don't really know.
Don't really know? Okay, thank you, baby. I appreciate it. What'd you get for your birthday?
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. You know what I got?
What?
Nothing. That's what happens when you get old.
While the child's testimony was not enough to identify the perpetrator, the fact that 2 adults had fought in front of the children was crucial. For the police, this meant that the children were directly involved in a tense family environment.
Because she has no marks on her.
Yeah, all I did was grab her by her shoulders. She was already down, and just told her to chill the f*** out. Because by then I looked and I seen all them in my periphery. And I've never had a confrontation with a woman, much less nothing like that, and it's especially not going to happen in front of these babies. Because this one is hers, he's already been put to the ring. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't have to worry about this because my brother's on his way. Getting all my shit, and I'm out of here.
I got you.
I locked her out.
Who's the closest that could come watch the little one? Her son.
Her person?
Yeah.
Probably her dad. That's who she wants to call all the time. I mean, she would more than likely leave him with the neighbor. They're very close, Amanda. Family. He stays with his papa a lot.
Does he?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. Ain't nothing's happened with that recently?
With what?
Him causing issues? Or?
Papa?
Yeah.
Well, what happens is, that's where it all starts. He goes with his papa, and her brother lives with him, and he just does whatever he wants to do. So when he comes back here, he's on the roof. No, he does have...
Oh, but you're living here now, so that's your new address right now.
Yeah, but...
What's the phone number?
I'm going back here.
Yeah, well, this is the address. Where
Okay, yeah. 912. So he goes to his papa's house and does whatever the hell he wants. He has no... So then he has... they call it stage 1 autism, but Asperger's.
Yeah.
That's what he has.
I think they stopped using that term.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But looking at him, talking to him, you never tell.
Yeah.
It took me like a week and a half, 2 weeks to see any sign of it.
It's just like, I mean, when
Yeah, it's very,
so
he's smart, he talks. It's just when he gets told no or something, he has temper tantrums, and he know how to yell real loud. He does that, but, That's what happens. It goes over there to his papa's and it comes back and, yeah. Dude, y'all seen it out there?
Yeah.
She hit me in the side of the head. I guarantee I got a bruise. I swallowed the iPad's in a million pieces. Yeah. She hit me with the iPad.
Yeah. Well, that's what I forgot to ask. Hey, sweetie, I ask you a question. Another question.
Yeah.
Did you see how did the iPad get broken? You know? No.
Never saw that.
You never saw that? Nobody threw it or something?
iPad?
Yeah.
The red one?
Yeah, I guess it's red.
Mm-hmm.
So, you didn't see anybody throw it or anything?
No.
What about your little brother?
No.
No? Okay.
Her name's Barbara.
Was she on the phone when all this was going on?
No, she called her earlier and I told her, don't call my mom.
Mm-hmm.
She just hung the phone up.
Okay, she's saying that she was on the phone and all that.
She was on the phone earlier because we were in here talking, and then I went back there. I had the shower running when she was on the phone. I was getting in the shower there. I was going to go to my mom's house just because, and that's when she come back there. Dicking with me, and that's where it all happened back there.
Okay.
Now, she put her hands on me a couple times before that this morning in the laundry room. Like she's some grown man. She grabbed her arm and went into my neck and pushed me up against the door. I'm like, what are you doing? Chill. I ain't never seen this side of her. But we have a bunch of mutual friends and all. And everybody's like, dude, she's crazy.
To verify the story, the police called the man's mother. She confirmed that she had received a call from the woman that morning, but had only heard the two arguing. This confirmation made the police even more skeptical of the woman's testimony. While she repeatedly claimed that his mother was a witness who would confirm her story, in reality, her story contradicted everything.
The lady here said that you were on the phone during the whole time that I had to call you, and you would corroborate that she was attacked by your son.
No, that's not true, officer. She did call me. She said to come and get him, that they were arguing, and he came in the room while I had her on the phone, and they started yelling at each other. Then we got disconnected, and I tried calling Russell back, and I said, Russell, put the kids in the vehicle and leave. And of course, they were arguing. I said, you cannot do this in front of the children. Get in your truck and leave with the children. And he said, you should see the scratches on me. And he said, she's crazy. Everybody told me she was crazy. I said, okay, Russell. And then we got disconnected again, and my other son is on his way up there right now. I was trying to tell Russell, just get in his truck and leave with the children. They were screaming and yelling at each other, but she did not say that he attacked her or put his hands on her. She did not say that. Now, I'm one of those, if she did, I would tell you, because my son knows not to touch a woman. And she did not say that he attacked her. She just said, come and get him. He's talking ugly about my children. And then he came in the room and they started arguing again, and I couldn't talk to nobody.
Okay. I just finished talking to your mama, and your mom pretty much corroborated what you were telling me.
Is there any way that you can like make her leave?
Oh, she's going to jail.
Okay.
She's going to jail for battery.
Yeah.
And cruelty to children, because the fight happened in front of the children.
Yeah, that's why I locked all of them in their room, because I could not get her to stop. And hers has already been through it with his actual dad. Yeah. Well, I'm sure y'all.
Yeah, I've been here.
But, and
she tried to overtalk me the last time I was out here, and it don't happen with me. Tell me to do my job. So.
That's why you got the badge, buddy.
Yeah, so.
But she just, I don't want nothing bad to happen to nobody. But
when
they're babies, man.
With the way Georgia is and family violence, because it is family violence, because you guys are residing together.
Am I gonna get in trouble?
No.
Good.
But she has no injuries.
Yeah, I did not touch her. All I did was literally, she was on the ground. She jumped on me. I put her on the ground. I'll never put my hands on her. I don't care what they do, unless they hurt a child. And I grabbed her shoulders just like that. And I said, chill the f out. She was going crazy, dude. I mean.
Well, like I said, she says that you choked her around the throat. She don't have any marks. She has no marks. You have severe marks on your neck and then light marks.
Yeah, and then she hit me somewhere with an iPad, but...
The statutes on family violence is simple battery is maybe this. And then we leave that up to the victim if they want to prosecute. That, she drew blood, and that's battery. you have no say-so in it. We have to act, so she's gonna be going to jail. She ain't gonna like it. Plus the way she acted out there, she come running in like a bull. She should have went to jail.
Where do you think that's gonna get you when you're talking to the authority?
It's
Nowhere.
So,
you know what I'm saying? But I mean, you would think. Obviously, I don't think her and I are married, but her prior relationships was the same thing. Same thing. You would think, you learn from your mistakes, but yeah, her.
I'm gonna try to talk to her.
This I should have known.
I'm gonna try to talk to her about who she wants the baby to go to.
She'll probably say her dad. He goes there a lot. Yeah, I won't be able to get all my shit, but I'll get my clothes.
How long you been here?
A month and a half.
You established residency, so you have a right to the house.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
All right. I did what you said. I called mama. She didn't corroborate anything you said. I talked to the children. They didn't corroborate anything you said. So he's got injuries you don't. All right. So you're gonna go to jail for battery, family violence, all right, and cruelty to children. Okay. Yeah. So turn around, put your hands behind your back. Do you have somebody to come watch your son, your neighbor, or somebody so your dad can come?
He's not going to be in my house while I'm not here because my name's on this house.
Oh, you let him. He's been here for a month, so he's established residency here.
My dad's calling. Don't leave my kid with him.
I'm not. That's what I'm trying to get. That's why I'm trying to get you to call somebody.
After comparing statements, physical evidence, and witnesses, the police came to a conclusion. The man had multiple scratches and swelling on his neck and head, consistent with his account of being scratched and having his iPad thrown. In contrast, the woman had no injuries on her body, despite her claims of being strangled and slammed to the floor. The police proceeded to handcuff her and take her away from the scene, officially ending the controversy with legal action.
Could your neighbor watch until your dad can come like last time?
I'm calling. I'm not going to place threats, but you better be at my mother's house before I get home. You want to take me to jail? Take me to jail for threats too. Because I don't know.
Here, put it
Promise the baby Jesus. That's the last they'll his kids will see him, I promise you. Hey, come get me from jail and come get Riker.
Okay, come get you from jail and come get Riker.
Come get Riker right now. Call Amanda back. That's tight, dude.
Hold on. I placed a finger in there. I placed a finger in there. All right.
Come, send somebody to get me from jail and come get Riker from Amanda. Let me call Amanda.
Is that Amanda that lives next door?
Bullitt County?
Is that Amanda?
Am I going to Bullitt County?
Yeah. Is that Amanda?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Is that Amanda that lives next door?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll walk over there because I remember that you and the baby went over there that one time.
As the woman was handcuffed and led to the patrol car, the police had to immediately address the most important remaining issue. Where would the children go? The man said he was packing to leave the house, but could not leave the children alone. One of the officers knocked on the neighbor's door and met Amanda, a woman who lived next door and knew the family. After explaining the situation, Amanda agreed to look after the youngest boy until their grandfather arrived.
How beautiful.
That's very friendly.
That's fine, that's fine. You're Amanda, right?
Yes.
All right. She's going to jail. She assaulted him. Can you watch the baby until her granddad can come?
Yes, I just talked to her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad and her brother didn't answer. Her mom said she'll get ready and come get him.
Okay. Can you watch him until?
Yes.
And then he's
Ready to
packing his
walk
stuff
over
up.
there?
Yeah, he's packing his stuff up to leave.
Okay.
But she's going to jail because you can't assault somebody like that.
Okay.
So, hi.
Can I
You
ask
are
a
pretty.
question?
Yeah.
Did he do something to her?
She has no marks. None
Okay.
whatsoever.
Okay.
And then everything she asked me to do, call his mom and corroborate her story, and then that's not how it happened. I asked the children, no.
Okay.
So he's got multiple, and it's actually his head's starting to swell right here. I got
on the side.
I gotta get that picture. I would tell you to get all your stuff today and get out. I told her that you've established residency, but she's already making threats. It won't be good if he's here when I get out of jail. She's not gonna get out of jail because it's family violence, and she's got to see a judge. So, but I would.
Hey, come here, pal.
I would take.
Give me a hug back.
I would take today to move all my stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a U-Haul and move it. You're gonna go over there with them for a little bit, okay, and play?
Your grandpa's gonna come.
Okay, Papa's gonna come get you in a little bit. You're gonna go play with him for a little bit, all right?
You guys can play while we get ready for Hudson's birthday.
It's his birthday today, okay?
Your birthday too, man. Everybody
It's
had
his
a
birthday today. We had a slide and they got one over there.
bunch of couple days. My birthday was Thursday
We were swapping.
or
We were
Friday.
going over there and
No, mine was Friday. So
Sorry you guys had to come out here for this, but
it's part of the job, brother.
thank you, man.
This case begins the way many domestic violence calls do, with two adults telling completely opposite stories and children caught in the middle. But what makes this incident legally significant is not who shouted first or who was more emotional. It's how quickly the situation crossed from a private dispute into a mandatory arrest under Georgia law. On September 1st, 2024, police officers in Georgia were dispatched to a home following a report of domestic violence. When they arrived, they were immediately met by a woman who appeared agitated, angry, and determined to control the narrative. She did not hesitate. She accused her boyfriend of choking her, slamming her to the ground, and attacking her inside the home. She demanded that officers remove him immediately. From a legal standpoint, this is the most common opening move in domestic calls. A firm allegation delivered with confidence, urgency, and moral certainty. But an accusation alone is not evidence. Officers are trained to slow the moment down, separate the parties, and reconstruct what actually happened, especially when children are present. What the officers did next is critical. Instead of reacting to tone or emotion, they reset the interaction. They asked the woman to start from the beginning. This is not a courtesy, it's an investigative technique. When someone retells a story from the start, inconsistencies often emerge, and emotional exaggeration becomes easier to detect. As the woman spoke, several red flags immediately appeared. Her account was highly detailed in accusation, but vague in mechanics. She claimed to have been choked and slammed, yet she did not describe how she escaped or how the attack ended. She repeatedly referenced third-party validation, calling the man's mother, calling the children, invoking God, rather than focusing on physical evidence. Meanwhile, the officers were already assessing something else: the environment. Children were inside the home. This alone changes the legal framework of the call. In Georgia, domestic violence that occurs in the presence of children is not treated as a private dispute. It is treated as potential cruelty to children, a separate and serious criminal charge. When the boyfriend emerged and gave his account, the situation became a classic credibility test. He admitted to a verbal argument but denied choking or slamming her. He acknowledged physical contact only in the context of restraining and disengaging, claiming she struck him first and that he removed himself to protect the children from witnessing the conflict. This is where many viewers misunderstand police discretion. Officers do not decide guilt based on sympathy or who sounds more believable. They decide based on three things: physical evidence, corroboration, and statutory obligation. The woman claimed strangulation, one of the most serious allegations in domestic violence law, but strangulation leaves marks: petechiae, redness, swelling, bruising. Officers looked. There were none. The man, however, had visible scratches, swelling, and injuries consistent with being clawed or struck. That immediately shifts the legal gravity of the scene. Under Georgia law, visible injury is not required to make an arrest. But when injuries exist on one party and not the other, officers are required to account for that discrepancy. At this point, the case stopped being about competing stories and became about verification. The officers did something many people don't expect. They interviewed a child. This was not to assign blame. Children rarely provide legally conclusive testimony in domestic disputes. It was to establish one fact only: whether violence occurred in front of minors. The answer, even without details, was yes. That single fact activates mandatory enforcement. Once officers confirm that a physical altercation occurred in the presence of children, they no longer have discretion to simply separate the adults and leave. The law requires intervention. The woman continued to insist that phone calls and witnesses would prove her version of events. But when officers contacted the person she named as corroboration, the man's mother, her story collapsed. The call confirmed arguing, not an assault, no choking, no slam, no attack. At this point, the officers had a complete picture. A physical altercation occurred. Children were present. One party showed injuries, the other showed none. Independent corroboration contradicted the original accusation. Legally, the direction of the case was now irreversible. Domestic violence arrests are not about who is louder, angrier, or more convincing. They are about who the evidence supports and what the law mandates. Once officers reached that threshold, they were no longer negotiating, they were enforcing. In the next section, we'll break down the exact charges, why the woman, not the man, was arrested, and how cruelty to children became the most serious legal consequence in this case. Once officers separated the parties and began comparing statements, the case shifted from emotional accusation to evidentiary analysis. This is the point in domestic violence calls where the outcome is decided, not by who is louder or more convincing, but by what can be corroborated. Under Georgia law, officers responding to a domestic incident involving cohabitating partners are required to determine whether probable cause exists for family violence. This is not optional. If probable cause is established, arrest is mandatory. Officers do not have discretion to issue warnings or suggest cooling off periods once that threshold is crossed. The woman alleged strangulation and being slammed to the ground. From a legal perspective, strangulation is a serious accusation because it often elevates charges and signals high risk. However, it is also an allegation that typically leaves physical indicators: redness, swelling, bruising, or petechiae around the neck. Officers examined her carefully. There were no visible injuries consistent with her claim. At the same time, officers observed multiple visible injuries on the man. He had scratches on his neck and swelling on his head, consistent with being clawed or struck. These injuries aligned with his account of attempting to disengage and restrain rather than initiate force. In domestic violence investigations, injury asymmetry matters. When one party claims severe violence but shows no injuries, while the other displays multiple marks, officers must account for that imbalance. The officers then moved to corroboration. The woman repeatedly cited the man's mother as a witness who would confirm her version of events. When officers contacted her, that claim collapsed. The mother confirmed arguing but denied hearing any assault, choking, or physical attack. This contradiction was significant. Naming a witness who refutes your account severely damages credibility. At this point, the officers had 3 critical facts established. First, a physical altercation occurred between cohabitating partners. Second, children were present during the altercation. Third, the physical evidence supported one account over the other. The presence of children is the legal pivot in this case. Georgia law defines cruelty to children in the 3rd degree as knowingly allowing a child to witness family violence. No physical injury to the child is required. The mere exposure to violence is sufficient. Once officers confirmed that the argument escalated into physical contact in front of minors, they were legally obligated to act. This is where many domestic calls become irreversible. Even if both adults wanted officers to leave, the law would not allow it. The state treats children as independent victims in these situations. Their exposure transforms the incident from a private dispute into a public safety issue. The officers briefly interviewed one of the children. This was not to assign blame or determine guilt. Children's statements are rarely decisive in domestic cases. Instead, the purpose was to confirm presence and exposure. The child confirmed that the adults were fighting. That alone satisfied the statutory requirement. From that moment forward, the officers' role changed. They were no longer gathering information to decide what to do. They were documenting evidence to support an action that was already required. The woman's behavior during this phase further complicated her position. She repeatedly interrupted, attempted to direct the investigation, and insisted that officers remove the man immediately. While demeanor alone does not determine arrest, persistent attempts to control the process often signal escalation rather than cooperation. Officers are trained to recognize when a scene is becoming unstable. When officers informed her that her account was not corroborated and that injuries were present on the man but not on her, the legal conclusion was unavoidable. Probable cause existed for family violence, battery, and cruelty to children. At this stage, officers do not weigh feelings, fairness, or perceived injustice. They apply statute. The arrest decision was no longer a judgment call. It was a legal requirement. In the next section, we'll examine what happens after that decision is made, the arrest itself, the immediate child safety measures, and how authority transfers from the scene to the court system. Once officers reached the point of arrest, the dynamics of the scene shifted in a way that often surprises people who have never experienced the criminal justice system firsthand. The investigation phase was over. The enforcement phase had begun. When officers informed the woman that she was being placed under arrest for family violence, battery, and cruelty to children, her reaction followed a predictable psychological pattern: shock, denial, escalation. She questioned the legitimacy of the decision. insisted on property rights, and continued to argue facts that had already been resolved. This response is common in domestic violence arrests, particularly when the arrested party believes moral certainty should outweigh legal evidence. At this point, the officer's role was no longer to explain or persuade. It was to execute a lawful arrest safely. Under Georgia law, once probable cause for family violence exists, officers are required to take the suspect into custody. There's no option to delay, negotiate, or allow the parties to cool off. The law removes discretion specifically to prevent retaliation and further harm. As the woman was handcuffed, her statements continued. These moments are often underestimated by suspects. Everything said during arrest, threats, demands, pleas, becomes part of the record. In family violence cases, such statements can influence bond determinations, no contact orders, and custody rulings. What feels like emotional venting in the moment can later be interpreted as intent or instability by a judge. With the arrest complete, the officers immediately turn to what the law considers the highest remaining priority: the children. In domestic violence cases involving minors, law enforcement is legally obligated to ensure that children are not left in an unsafe or unstable environment. Arresting an adult does not end the officer's responsibility. It expands it. Officers must confirm supervision, safety, and continuity of care before clearing the scene. The man informed officers that he intended to leave the residence that day. While he had established residency, the situation had clearly become untenable. However, leaving immediately was complicated by the presence of children, particularly the youngest. Officers could not allow a scenario where children were left alone or placed into further uncertainty. This is where domestic calls quietly become child welfare cases. Officers contacted family members and neighbors to determine who could temporarily supervise the youngest child. A nearby neighbor, known to the family, agreed to step in until the child's grandfather could arrive. This handoff was conducted with police oversight to ensure that the transfer was voluntary, documented, and safe. These moments rarely attract attention, but they are among the most consequential. Improper child placement can expose departments to liability and place children at risk. Officers are trained to treat these decisions with the same seriousness as the arrest itself. Meanwhile, the arrested woman continued to assert control through language, threatening exclusion from the home, making declarations about future access to the children, and attempting to dictate outcomes despite being in custody. Legally, these statements hold no authority. Once arrested for family violence, decisions regarding custody, residence, and contact are transferred entirely to the court. Because this was a family violence arrest, she would not be immediately released. Georgia law requires judicial review before release in these cases. A judge will determine bond conditions, no contact orders, and any temporary custody arrangements. This delay exists for a reason: to prevent immediate retaliation and further exposure of children to harm. For individuals unaccustomed to legal consequences, this transition is often disorienting. Arrest is not simply being taken away, it is the sudden loss of autonomy. Phones are taken, movement is restricted, decisions are deferred. For someone who believed they controlled the household, the shock can be profound. As officers prepared to leave the scene, the environment had changed completely. One adult was in custody. One adult was packing to leave. Children were temporarily placed with a trusted neighbor. The immediate volatility had been neutralized, but the consequences were only beginning. The woman now faces criminal charges that will follow a structured legal process. Family violence, battery, and cruelty to children are not minor allegations. They can result in protective orders, mandated counseling, restrictions on contact with children, and long-term custody implications. These outcomes are determined not by argument, but by statute, evidence, and judicial discretion. This case illustrates a reality that many people struggle to accept. Domestic violence law is not about determining who feels wronged. It is about preventing harm, especially to children, before it escalates further. The officers did not decide who was morally right. They applied the law as written. Once the statutory thresholds were met, the outcome was inevitable. Domestic violence leaves marks beyond what cameras capture. Children who witness chaos, shouting, and physical confrontation carry those moments with them. The law recognizes this which is why exposure alone is treated as harm. By the time officers left the scene, the system had taken over. What began as a volatile argument had transformed into a court-controlled process with lasting consequences for every person involved. The final question is not whether the arrest felt fair to everyone present. The question is whether the law functioned as intended to stop violence, protect children, and remove discretion when discretion becomes dangerous. In this case, once the line was crossed, the system did exactly that.